How's it going, everybody? It's Stock Picks by Tim, and I'm back like I never left. I want to talk about Cleanspark today. I want to put a date on your calendar that you want to keep an eye on and make sure you tune in here. We've got the 2022 annual meeting on March 15th coming up very soon. So make sure you write this down on your calendar. It's going to give you a lot of information of what they plan on doing in 2022, and they're likely to cover some recent developments that what they're doing currently, any updates on their immersion cooling, things of that nature. But keep that date on your radar, and also let's get into this here. And also, they're actually announcing an NFT and ticket giveaway, and I'll get more into that in a second, but we've got some recent articles here. One here by Coindesk, and then another by Bloomberg. All right, so we're going to just look over these really quick here. So Matt Schultz basically said miners that aren't as efficient or signed more expensive power contracts could get pushed out or gobbled up, said Matt Schultz, the executive chairman of Cleanspark. And he also makes a correlation with oil and says when oil prices drop, the less efficient producers in West Texas shut down. Same thing is happening here. They also go on to say that we already know this basically, but Cleanspark, with operations in Georgia, upstate New York, mines about 10 Bitcoin per day. They are at that 2 exahash. Recently made that announcement late January, so just a couple days ago, actually. So they are a little bit late on that, but I'll give them a pass. All right, I think that's good enough. They are still doing what they said, although a tad late. That's okay. So they mine about 10 Bitcoin per day, spend about $5,000 to $6,000 in operating costs to mine each Bitcoin. That is a huge profit margin. And Matthew Schultz even said, so even at $33,000 per Bitcoin, we're still tremendously profitable. And right now, Bitcoin is like right around 38, I believe. But anyways, even if Bitcoin's price were to stay constant, miners' revenues by the end of 2022 are expected to fall by a third simply due to increased competition. However, an industry shakeout could disrupt those expectations. So say there's more FUD coming in, or even like, with Kazakhstan with the energy issues, bringing miners offline for a little while. Things like that can definitely work to Cleanspark's advantage or disadvantage if something were to happen in America. But something to consider, okay? So one good thing, though, about Cleanspark is they are continuing to build out and just grow their miners. If they don't do that, if they don't grow, they're going to regress because of just the high competition in this space. So that's one thing to consider. Now I want to just go over a couple things in this article, and then we're going to get into the NFT giveaway because this is pretty awesome. This is pretty crazy. First off, Matt Schultz again says miners that are more dependent on equity may struggle now because the markets aren't as bullish as they were, meaning, this Bitcoin, the Bitcoin miners at least, a lot of them have come down. A lot of them are hitting 52-week lows, if not just barely bouncing over them. So that's what he's basically talking about. If you want to dilute shareholders, you're going to be diluting at a way lower share price, which isn't good. You want to dilute at as high of a share price as you can so you can get the most money out of the price movement of your stock. And he goes on again to kind of reiterate the $5,000 to $6,000 operation costs per Bitcoin mined. The current price of $30,000 does not have a significant impact on the economics of Bitcoin mining, given that the cost to mine a Bitcoin for most industrial scale mining operations in North America is much less than that. So they are safe. If Bitcoin even comes down to 20,000, they'll still be okay. It's not the end of the world for a company like Cleanspark. A lot of these others as well, they are mining at a very great profit margin if you look at it. And he also said that if prices remain low, we expect to see consolidation surrounding miners that don't have a sustainable energy strategy, which Cleanspark does, and favorable purchase agreements, which Cleanspark does have. So he's basically saying that, these miners, they're going to likely M&A, merger and acquisitions. These bigger miners might acquire these smaller miners because just because some of these smaller miners may not be profitable enough to continue mining. So there will be some consolidation likely, said Matthew Schultz. And for Cleanspark, this is a good thing. Competition is not good. We don't want as much competition, because that higher competition raises basically raises the difficulty level for mining at your current hash rate. So you definitely want to continue to grow and add more miners. If you're not doing that, you're basically slowly downtrending, and that's not a good thing to see. Now let's get into this crazy news here. Yes, you saw this right. Cleanspark is giving a NFT and ticket to Miami, their Bitcoin conference, Bitcoin 2022 conference in Miami. They're going to be giving this away. The people that correctly answer the questions that they give out, okay, from Monday, January 31st through Friday, February 4th, the 2 people that correctly guess the answer will be randomly selected as winners. Each winner will receive a Cleanspark NFT plus Bitcoin 2022 conference pass. And I'll leave you guys the link for Facebook just so you can keep an eye on this and get ready to answer these questions coming up on Monday. So a couple days from now. You might be watching this a couple days later, so, keep an eye on it though. Now, I want to quickly go over Bitcoin, and then we're going to go over Cleanspark on the charts and just the price action, support levels, resistance levels, all that good stuff. Now, first off, Bitcoin is, for the day, it is coming up a little higher. We're working towards that 38. On the week, we are up 8%, so that's good. That could be partly why Cleanspark has seen a nice little rebound. Also, the overall market, it's not just what Bitcoin's doing. All right, it's also what the overall market's doing. If we're going to have a really good green day, Cleanspark's very likely to follow. If we're going to have a really red day, on the inverse, if we're going to have a really red day, of course, Cleanspark's going to fall as well. So that's one thing to consider. It also depends on what the market's doing. But, if we see a huge rise or a huge drop on Bitcoin, it is definitely going to affect Cleanspark's stock price. And we are sitting right here at a $1.7 trillion market cap, a lot farther down than when we were right about at 3, almost to 3 trillion. So the global cryptocurrency market cap has been almost cut in half by now. So you will see we're trading at like 37 or so. Now we're almost at 38. If we can hold this, definitely we look a lot better than where we were on Friday, last day in the market. So keep an eye on this coming through on Monday. If we start coming down into the market, it might negatively affect Cleanspark. But if we start rising or stay where we're at, it could likely be a good effect. It could likely give Cleanspark that little extra push, especially if we get a green day, it'll push it even more. But looking at Bitcoin, we are looking pretty good. We have this nice little uptrend. We did fall down. We tested 38, couldn't hold, came back down. I think we're going to retest 38, see if we can break it. The MACD looks pretty bullish to me. RSI somewhat neutral, and we'll see if we hold this level. Now look for if we drop under like 37.5, we can likely come down and test lower levels. But if we hold here, we're very likely to test 38 again and possibly break it. We need to break 38,200. We need to break about 38,200. If we can break that, possibly off to the races. But let's go into Cleanspark's chart now. All right, and I gave you guys a bit of a support level right here at about 550. We did hit this and bounced very quickly. We had a pretty green market those days, but we came back down, retested. But we didn't quite test as low. So it looks like we got higher lows. This looks like kind of a half-assed W, but it looks like it gets met with a lot of buying pressure here at the like $6 and under range. And a lot of you guys in the comments have been mentioning that you've been buying very heavily here at this level. And, good job. Good job. I think a lot of you are buying during this fear. And in the end, I think this is going to be the best thing to do. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. You got to do your own research, do your own thing. But I think there's a great level to continue to buy. We did break our, it was like a $7, $7.10 support, and sure enough, we did come down quite considerably. I think it's a fantastic where it's at. I mean, what are we at market cap? Like $200 million market cap? It's ridiculous. Looking at it, however, the RSI is a little overbought, and the MACD is still bullish, still running up. Looks like they're both about ready to cool down, though. We might see a little bit of a downturn, maybe even retest this $5 level, the 550. We may even retest this 550 level before moving higher. But yeah, things are definitely looking better for Cleanspark. I think our bottom has been found. I think we found the bottom at about 550, so we may retest that one more last time. But it gets quickly bought up. I mean, you look at how quick that buying pressure came in. Quickly came in and didn't even come back and retest again. So we'll see how this does. Keep an eye on that 550 level. If we do break it, might fall further. Also depends what the overall market does and Bitcoin, of course. But it is good to see a lot of news lately on Cleanspark. Seems like it's been getting a little bit more recognition, a little more attention, and that is a great thing for the stock price. And of course, this is one that I've been just continuing to average in. Absolutely love Cleanspark at this price. This is my #1 miner. One more miner that I do invest in is any 3D Sphere, although I've been kind of just leaving it alone. I have my position pretty built out on it. I have about a 2% of my portfolio on that. They are waiting for their merger, and it should be coming really soon for 3D Sphere or any Griffin Digital Mining. Keep an eye on them as well. They do like to post on their Twitter from time to time as well, give you a little information. But that's basically it. Make sure you like and subscribe. I try to put out videos every day. Sometimes my job gets in the way, but I try my best. Make sure you hit the notification bell so you can stay tuned when I put my next video out. And thanks so much, guys, and I will see you next time.